Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Wassalatu wassalamu ala nabiyyin kareem. Muhammadin ibn Abdullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Amma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to start in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and I'd like to start by praising Him and by glorifying Him the way He deserves to be praised and glorified. Now, we're almost in the last 10 days of Ramadan, and this is a very special reminder, inshallah, so pay very close attention. Now, as you listen, you have to make sure that these nights are very, very special nights, and these days are very special days, and these moments that you're living right now, these are very special moments, and you only live through these moments once. You don't come back to them, so take very good care of them. As you know, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that in the last 10 nights of Ramadan, usually in the odd nights, usually the 27th is a very special night called Laylatul Qadr. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes this night. He says, Inna anzalnahu fi laylatul qadr, that indeed we sent down this Quran, this book, in the night of Qadr, this night. وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ, and what will explain to you what this night is like. Allah is saying, how can I make you understand the greatness of this night? And He says, لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ, this night is better than 1,000 months. Now, this night, first of all, is the birthday of the Quran for us. You know, this is the night the Quran came down. Second, this night, the worship of the believer is magnified as if he has worshipped 1,000 months in this, if you just worship this one night. So our scholars, they said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has hidden two things in the creation that we have to, it becomes incumbent on us to go and seek out. One is His wali, His awliya, the people that are close to Him. And these are people, could be regular people among us that you never even thought this person is close to Allah. Could be you, could be me, could be your brother, could be your friend. But there are people, they are so close to Allah and they have a secret relationship with Allah that when they ask Allah for anything, Allah answers them. So our scholars said, be careful how you treat people, because could be the one you just cursed out was the wali of Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Hadith Qudsi, whoever shows hostility, enmity to my wali, I declare war on him. There's only two things Allah declares war on. One is a person who indulges in interest. Second is a person who is hostile towards his walis. And since we don't know who his walis are, you get the message. The second thing Allah has hidden is this night, the very special night, Laylatul Qadr. And our scholars said this night is not constant, like a lot of Muslims tend to think it's always the 27th. And if you go to Taraweeh, you'll notice it's jam-packed on the night of 27th. It's not always the 27th, It's moving around. And sometimes it's the 21st, sometimes it's the 23rd. Some scholars said even it's sometimes outside of the last 10 days. It may be 17th. Some very few scholars said it's sometimes outside of Ramadan. And so this night is a very special night. And this night is hidden. And not everybody is going to benefit from this night. Only those whom Allah gives tawfiq will receive the benefit from this night. So what we have to do then is to prepare ourselves and to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for tawfiq in this night. How do we do this? Number one thing, make sure you're praying Fajr prayer. And after Fajr prayer, you're doing the dhikr Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us to do. And this dhikr goes as لا إله إلا هو لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. It means لا إله إلا الله, there is no God except Allah, وحده لا شريك له, He is one and He has no partner. له الملك وله الحمد, to Him belongs the kingdom and to Him belongs all the praise. وهو على كل شيء قدير, and He is over everything capable, powerful. And so Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to make this zikr after Fajr prayer 100 times. If you haven't memorized it, go look it up, memorize it. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك وله الحمد وهو على كل شيء قدير. He said, when you make this zikr, if you make it 10 times, you get deeds equal to freeing a slave. And for every time you say it, you get a sin removed from you and you get elevated in your status. And if you make it 100 times every day after Fajr, if your sins were as great as the foam on the edge of ocean, it would all be forgiven by the virtue of the zikr. So make sure, at least if you're not doing this the last 10 days, you're doing this. You have to do this. Second, when you go and you fast and you're making iftar, try to help somebody else open their fast. Invite them to your house, or give them food, or buy them food. Whatever you'll do, help them to make sure that at least somebody or one person breaks their fast by your deeds. And when they do that, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever provides for a fasting person, whoever helps a fasting person break their fast on iftar, he will get the same reward as him fasting, without the fasting person's reward diminishing. So you get double the reward for fasting that day if you feed one person iftar. Then the third thing is, you have to try to make dua as much as possible. You have to understand these moments, these are golden opportunities. It's like you walk into a treasure house, right? They give you 2 minutes to say, you have 2 minutes, go grab as much gold as you can, and that's it. After that, you can't get anything. You are going through the treasure house right now. Every moment is gold. Every moment, whatever action you do in Ramadan is magnified by billions. You have no idea. So make lots of dua. I'm telling you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing you ask him is too much. Anything you want, ask him. You want money, ask him. You want to get married, ask him. You want to have righteous children, ask him. You want to have a big house, ask him. Whatever you can think of, ask him. And make sure you ask your heart out. Ask sincerely from the bottom of your heart, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if the whole humanity and all jinn from beginning to the last were to get up and ask Allah for something all at once, each asking for whatever different thing they want, and Allah gave it to every single one of them, it would not decrease His kingdom by a single tiny drop that you get when you stick a needle into the ocean. So ask Allah. I'm telling you, this is the moment to ask Allah. You better ask. Make sure you make lots of dua and include me in your duas. This is important, inshallah. After that, make sure you're praying your fard prayers during the day, and if you can, pray tahajjud at night. The last 10 days, every single night of them, you have to do something extra, because could be Laylatul Qadr. After that, make sure there is a special dua. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who asked, Ya Rasulullah, if I happen to be standing in prayer and it so happens that this is Laylatul Qadr, what should I ask for? He said, say, Allahumma innaka afuun karimun tuhibbul afwa fa'afu anna. Say, oh Allah, you are the one who loves to forgive, so forgive me. So, this is, he said, ask for afiyah. What is afiyah? Afiyah is well-being. Well-being, it's a type of well-being that applies to everything in your life. So, money-wise, you're well off. Health-wise, you're well off. Education-wise, you're well off. Family-wise, you're well off. Problems-wise, you're well off. Dunya-wise, you're well off. Akhirah-wise, you're well off. Grave-wise, you're well off. Everything is well. Afiyah. Ask for afiyah. Another way, one of the scholars said, is to say, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afwa wal-afiyah. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afwa wal-afiyah. Very easy. So, make sure you do these things, and please make sure you make dua for me. Make sure this is very important. You have no idea. And inshallah, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever makes dua for their brother behind their brother's back, this is not backbiting behind your brother's back. This is asking Allah to bless your brother behind your brother's back. Then an angel will make a dua for you at the moment you're making dua for your brother. And as soon as you finish, the angel will say same to you. And as you know, your brother has not sinned through your tongue. So whatever dua you make for him, it is accepted dua. And inshallah, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He gives us tawfiq in this blessed nights. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He blesses you and your family and everyone in it. And He gives you the best of everything in this month. And He gives you better Ramadan next year. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He answers your du'as. So now you have to make dua for me. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.